Well, good morning. Hello. How are you? And welcome to Bemis Crafty Corner. I am Bemis, known as Els. And today we're going to be just kind of working on our little naked tree decor. I want to finish it. And I just kind of, I don't know, I guess I put it off. It's one of those things, I put it off. Sometimes you just need a break. And I needed a break from Christmas. And then I made Christmas cards. Uh, so we're going to go ahead and get that done. So let me get all of this down. And our tape. And let's get a set of lights. Because I may not get this finished, but at least we'll get a set of lights in. Batteries. Must have batteries. Hello, Miss Arlene. How are you? I'm telling you, my sinuses hate me right now. I'm going to probably mute the mic here so I can blow my nose. Because nobody wants to hear that. You just ain't feeling it. I feel you. Hold on, I'm going to mute because nobody wants to hear me blow my nose. There we go. Okay. Now I have blown my nose. Yay. Waking up. I am waking up. Let me get my meds, and then we'll do this. Where's those nasal pills? There they are. Okay. Taking two because our nose is really stuffy today. Okay. Did that. I have a few things left to do. Hair, fight, and sleep. Oh my God. Well, I'll tell you what. I didn't go to bed last night till like 2 in the morning, and then I had to be up at 8 this morning. There might be a nap in my future. All right, so these are from the Dollar Tree. And they're fairly inexpensive. They're, $1.25. So, now here's what I have found with these lights. If you cut the wire, the lights still work. Okay? All right. Now, I had Hubbard drill me holes. One for each of these to go into. And as you can see, they're fairly large. There's a reason for that. Because I got to feed the wire through there too. So, see, I have to feed the wire through. In order to get the tree in there. Let's do this one. Where's my, need my snippies. Okay. And then we're going to put this in there. Hopefully, I didn't cut too much of that off. Of course I did. All right. Now you can hot glue this. Yeah. And then we're going to put this on our tree. And you can hide the wire if you'd like with more tape. You'll see. So I'm hoping that it only takes one set of lights to do this. But, you know, I never know. It's going to take more. That's okay. Like, I'm hoping it's only like one set of lights per tree, you know? But I don't think so. I think it's going to be like 2 sets of lights. 1.5. Anyway, so then we're going to open this up. And to open this, you have to unscrew it, of course. And you know that screw has to be microscopic. So we're going to get this out. What a pain in the butt. Okay. Put in our batteries. Hi, Michelle. 2 batteries. One battery. 2 batteries. This is supposed to be white light, and it's colored. So this one is not going to work. It said white. Did it say white, or did it say colored and I didn't pay attention? Oh, no, it says colored and I didn't pay attention. Okay, so I'm going to take this out of here. Take this off. Because I don't want colored lights. I want white lights. I am not finishing this today. We are going to, I'm going to finish it in the video because I've been working video for it. All right, let's get these out of here. Whoa. I'm going to roll these back up because this is a multicolor. And I don't want multicolor. Not on this project. I mean, don't get me wrong. Multicolor is pretty, but it's not the look we're going for. Okay. This back on there. And tighten this back down just so we don't lose the screw. Back in the box. I just grabbed one. This was the one I grabbed. 20,000. I'm trying to finish these trees. Okay. Well, I'm trying to finish live because I'm doing a video to finish them, but I want to show everybody here because we started this project live and there is a video coming out for it, but I wanted to show everybody live how to do this since we started this journey together. All right, so we're going to put the lights up through the hole. Then we're going to push in our stem. Get that a little higher. There we go. There we go. Because I want it snug, you know. And that's our first light. Is right there. So if you want to do this where you can cover the, the string, you don't want the string to show, you just use your tape and just go over, like make sure you don't go over any of the lights. That's all. And there's a good, like 4 inches between lights. So, and you don't have to wrap them around. Let me do this way. If you want, if you're going to use your tape, you could just put them on here, tape, and bring it back down. And then move on to the next one. Okay? So I'm going to get a piece of my tape. Not a lot, but I want to make sure I don't go over the light bulbs. So no matter what, I want the light bulbs to stick out. So I got a light bulb there. And I have one at the bottom. Tapey, tapey, tape. Tapey, 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 tape. Yes, it's a pain in the butt. This is going to take a while. This is a big pain in the behind project that I did not intend it to be such a big pain in the butt project. I thought it would be much easier than this. But this one's very, very bitchy. Okay. Next light is there. Get that on there. Now, if your tape is not sticking and you want it to stick better, you can go over this whole thing with Mod Podge. Yeah. It actually makes the lights show up a little better too. I just get really frustrated with this thing, you know? It's frustrating. Okay, so I have some lights on. Let's go ahead and open the thing up and, see what it looks like. See if I like it wrapped better or just, laid on and taped. You never know. Watch, this light set won't work, right? I like it. But I have to tell you, from an aesthetic view, this wrapping it and just laying it on the branch and wrapping around it is better than this look. So I would say just to lay them on and wrap the tape around, leaving the light exposed. And then you'll get a better look out of it. Because you can kind of control a little better where your lights go. If that makes sense. Because like here, if I put this on, these two lights would be right next to each other. So I can actually fold this and bring that light into the middle and just wrap this in tape. If that makes sense. If that makes sense. Okay. Turn this off. Close this back up quick. You put the screwdriver away, stupid. That's why you can't find it. Okay, so then once you have your lights on, you come on the bottom and we're going to glue these on here. So you can put one there, one there, one here, one here, and still have enough room in the middle for the other one so that you can have all of these in. And all you have to do is hot glue these stems at the bottom so that they fit in there. And you will have all of your trees in. And it will look like that silly, one that we saw. That was $200. And this one, I think we figured it out to be like less than 30 bucks. It was like 20 some dollars because the lighting is expensive. But also, if you have those smaller pads lights, the ones that I usually use that are the real thin ones with the watch batteries in them, you can put those under there too. Those actually have more lights on them, but I don't have any white ones. Mine are all colored. I used all the white ones doing my boxes, my little miniature houses. So that's, the gist of it. I'm going to finish this. And when I finish it, I'll take the picture and y'all can see it. And it'll have all 5 trees and they'll all be lit up. And I'll take a nice picture and, it'll have the decor at the bottom and all that other good stuff. So I'm going to get this out of the way because I don't want to play with it anymore because it's annoying. It was a much more annoying project than I thought it was going to be. Hi, Miss Mari. Okay, I'm going to put these batteries away. I know, I don't know why I opened another pack of batteries. I have, because I have a lot of AAAs. And I only had 3 AAAs. Okay, so that's why I opened it. Because I put those in there. Okay. Oh, I have packages going in the mail today. I gotta get to the post office again. My second trip to the post office in 2 days. I don't even like the post office. Why am I keep going back? Because it's Christmas. That's why you keep going back there, you goofus. All right, so we're going to work on this, getting it prepped. And I'm hanging out with you guys today. I'm not really doing anything. Let's put it that way. What the hell did I do with it? Does anybody know what I did with it? probably put it away. Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. Well, I seem to have lost it. It's a brand new freaking die. I just bought it. How did I lose it? This is me. I lose everything. Dang it. How doth one lose it? Well, it's a good thing that I just decided to look for it, because this is supposed to be tomorrow's project. Okay. What did I do with it? You know, if I didn't lose things, it wouldn't be me. Okay. Well, I'm thinking it's got to be on the cart. Ooh. So let's get the dies and let's see. No. Definitely not. No, and no. No. What the hell did I do with it? What did I do with it, Eustace? No idea. Okay. Seriously, if I don't lose things, I don't know what I'm doing. Isn't that special? I know. Fearing I was going to actually do something with it. It ran away. It's like, no! My scale's not where it belongs. Nothing is where it belongs. Did I come out here and craft in my sleep? It's possible. It is possible. It's not probable, but it is possible. I've done some weird stuff in my sleep. All right, let's see. I put it on the desk because I was going to be using it. It's not up and to the right, which is where I usually put things. So let's take a look on the desk. Because I may have said, you know what, self, because that's what I do. That's what I say when I'm doing stupid stuff. I may have gone, self, you're going to use this in a couple of days. Why don't you put it right here where you will know where it's at? And then, well, we all know how the rest of that story goes. What did I do with it? I don't know. Being ravaged. I have this other one too we have to look at that I haven't even taken it out of the package yet. Well, hell. Michelle did it. She snuck in here in the middle of the night, took my die. Damn it. I knew it was. Ooh. I'm going to spend the rest of the day looking for this thing. I will, because it's going to drive me crazy. But right now, I'm almost done here. Hold on, I'm coming. I apologize. But now that I'm looking for it, I want to check every one of these. Ooh. That's not it. That's not it. Nope. No. 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 That's a coffee cup. Hi, I found it. Michelle. Read chat. Yes, ma'am. I will read. It's leaning in the groove. Yeah, I've done that. Okay. So this is from the die, and it is all the way out here is 6 inches by about 3 7/8. Okay. It is one piece of the thing, 2 pieces of the thing. It's 2 pieces of this. Okay, this die is from Alina Cuddle, right? And so they actually do videos on their dies, like how to do them. So we're going to be cutting the pieces for this. That's all we're going to do is cut pieces. If my heat tool will let me go. Okay. So let's get the die machine. Best damn die machine I have ever had in my whole life. I have been cutting on this thing for about 9 years now. Still a rock star. Okay. Now, I say we cut this in cream or in white. What do you think? Cream or white? Because, I'm thinking it's going to be like, we're doing it for the holidays. Cream or white? What do you think? I mean, I could do it in colors. Cream. Okay. All right. So this is 110. I don't know that we'll use 110 for the pages, but 110, I think, for the spine is appropriate. But you know what? They say there's a way to straighten this, to stabilize the spine. So let's do that because it's cheap. All right. Let's get a couple of pieces of cream. Let's do this. Yeah, it softens the color a little bit. All right, so let's cut this down to, about half. Fairy stuff falling off of my Gramercy card over here, and it just fell past past Ginger, and she was like, "What the hell was that?" My baby, I'm getting it. Yeah, I'm getting it. I know, I saw it. I saw it happen. I'm sorry. There you go. Mama put it up. Okay. All right. So, in the instructions, and their videos for these are really good. By the way, I'm not sponsored by Alina Cuddle, although I do have a lot of their products. So, we're going to cut 2 of these because that's what it says to do. So we're going to have 2 of these. I didn't think you cut 2. I was like, before I did the video, before I looked at the video, I was looking at this and I was like, that is not going to work. And then I looked at the video and I went, you're stupid. You're supposed to cut 2. And then I cut 2 and I went, ah. Oh, you and Mike would get along just fine. I am that person that needs to have color in my world, you know? And whenever Mike and I decide that a room needs, fresh paint, I always go, well, what color do you want? He goes, beige, tan. I got him to get cream puff to put on the walls. That was like the most color I could get. All right, so to do this, we need 2 of these, which makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. So technically, you want 10 of these. So let's get that out of the way. So we're gonna do 10 of these, and it's really cool. It comes with 2 sets, one for the mat and one for the actual piece. Now, when you're cutting a die cut, just FYI, if it's at all possible, do it at an angle through a manual machine. Even if you have the Vagabond, you're going to want to do it at an angle, okay? And the reason for that is it doesn't go clunk. So if your die will do it, if you can get it on there in the right position, do it at an angle, okay? Now see, I didn't take that little piece off of there, and look, it's red on the edge, so it's no big deal, but can you see that little hole? Yeah, that's what that does. So we're going to get rid of that little piece right there before I get that little hole on absolutely everything. Done. All right, so I need 9 more of these. And guess what? I have just enough paper for that. Okay. So I'm going to cut the paper down, and then we'll do, that part. Can you do it with only 5? Yes. Do you want to? I don't care. But I am going to prep this out so that I don't have to cut as much paper in the live. Like, I could just have it prepped and ready and cut 1. So I'm putting that to the side. So we're going to cut the rest of these. I don't know if this die will cut 2 at a time. We're going to give it a shot because I'm lazy and I don't want to have to do more work than, I need to twist down this way. Now, I will tell you this. Alina Cuddle, their dies are a little thin. I don't know if that's intentional or if it's just like that's all you really need. You know what I mean? But it did cut 2. So that was good. Hi, Marie. How are you, honey? So this is from Alina Cuddle. Again, at an angle, whenever possible. You can see I cut these at an angle too. But, if it doesn't, it won't go at an angle. It's just going to go thud, thunk, thunk. And it's not the machine. It's fine. It's not hurting it in any way. Okay. But I'll do one straight so we can see if we can get it to do it. It does that thing. But you'll hear it. It'll be very redonkulous. All right. So let's try it. We're going to do it straight in with one piece of paper here. So this is more of a straight in kind of thing. And this die may not be big enough, thick enough for it. Hear that? Feel that clunk? Do you see it? Watch. That. Okay. So to avoid that, cut your die at an angle whenever possible. The bigger the angle, the better. Okay. Yes, I know it wastes paper, but nice and smooth. It doesn't do that clunk. No clunk. The only place it clunks is when it gets to the end of the board, which is where it's supposed to clunk because it's no more tension. Okay. So that is, we should have 8 of these now because we're going to cut one live. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And actually, we need 9 of them because we need 10 total. So let me cut the last one, and then we'll get out a piece of paper to do the rest. Okay. I will get out a piece of paper and put it with the die so that I know what I'm cutting. And I think we're doing this tonight. What's tonight's video? Does anybody know? I never know anything. I pull up my video and I look at it and I go, okay, that's what I'm doing tonight. Okay, so that's 9. So we're going to need 10 to complete this. So we'll cut one live. Piece of paper. Let me get the right paper. Okay. I'm being attacked by my findings. Okay. All right. I'm so mad. This paper trimmer, I lost that wire and I thought it would be okay, but it cuts crooked now. So I'm gonna have to get a new one. And I kind of like that one. All right. So I'm going to put this on here and I'm going to put a piece of low-tack tape on it so that I keep it together. Because it's one piece for tonight. Okay. And then I've already cut this, but I want to cut another one for tonight. So I'm going to cut this piece of paper now. And we're going to put a piece of low-tack tape on that. Now, should we do this Christmas? Because it is Christmas time. Should we do it like Christmas paper or should we do it in just like regular pretty paper? What do you think? You mean the die? Is that the all-in-one? Yeah. I know. I love the clunk. The clunk tells me I've completed the cut. The cutter. No, this is the Fiskars. I don't even remember what model this is. I don't remember. But this is the Fiskars one. It's just their standard, cutter. And it has a piece of wire in here. And this cutter blade runs along the wire. And what happened is my cutter blade cut into the wire and it frayed and I couldn't get past that point. And it was like right in the middle. It was like 4 or 5 inches down. And so I was like, son of a, okay. So I tried it like 2 more times, trying to see if I could get past the wire. The wire snapped. I literally cut through the wire because it's very thin. I don't know if you guys can actually see it on there, but it's a very thin wire. And it's like, to improve the tensile strength of it, it's like wrapped right there. And it usually comes right down here. Like this one. See that wire in there? It's like a guitar string. It's really thin, like a C. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll just, so it frayed out. I cut out the remains of it and I figured it would work fine. But when I use it to cut, it cuts crooked. So I'm going to need to get a new one. Because I have like 900 of these blades because I order them through Temu. And so, I have like huge amounts of blades. So I'll get a new one. I have my all-in-one under the desk, but this is the one that I pull out like for a quick cut when I'm working live, so I don't have to get that all-in-one out from underneath the desk. I like my all-in-one. All right, so now we should have 9 of these. Yes, 1, because we need 2 for each page. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. The one that's on the paper, that's 10. Let's put a clip on this. Big butterfly clip. Okay, got that. Now, we're going to cut 1 more of these because we have to show everybody how to do that. Actually, you can cut as many of these as you want and as many pages as you want. You make this sucker like huge if you want to. All right, so we have that, which we are going to pin together. Paper clips. I'm going to put all this in a bag so that I don't lose it. Okay, what else do we need? Oh, we got to go back to that question. Hi, Christine. Okay, so have we decided? Are we going to do this in plain colors? Are we going to do it in something other than holiday? Or are we going to do this in Christmas paper? Because if we're going to do it Christmas paper, I'm going to go get some Christmas paper. If we're going to do it in just, then we'll just do it in that and be done with it. And I cannot use a 6x6 pad. Well, I could. This is exactly 6 inches, just a hair under. So I could use a 6x6 pad if I had to. We're doing it in Christmas. Okay, I'll be right back. Let me go grab a Christmas pad. Don't anybody tell Mike I did that. I climbed the ladder. Okay. Because I couldn't find a Christmas pad. So I just got the Christmas case down. It has everything. It does. It has everything. Christmas paper. Christmas paper. All right. I got a whole 6x6 of Bow Bunny. So this is Yuletide Carol collection. And I think it'll go okay with the cream. So let's see if we can actually get one of these cut out of a piece. 6x6. We can, but it's going to be a clunky cut. Oh, we're going to have to be really careful. Yeah, this is going to be a clunky cut. Okay. Whew. Why can't they be like, 6 1/4 like everybody else? They put that extra bit in there. Okay. So we're going to cut these out. You can hear it. You hear it go click? Yeah. That is because it's going straight into the machine. Okay. So these are going to be the pages, the covers on the pages. And we're literally just going to, pull these out. So it's 3. That is hideous. 4, 5, 6. That's just, wow. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So obviously we're not going to cut all of these because, but I'm going to cut this one this way so that we actually have the music going in the right direction. This might be one of the ones that I save. I'm going to save this one for tonight. So if it's directional, we have to be careful. Okay, we're going to try and cut 2 of these at the same time. So this has got a date on it, so, it says December 25th. So I want to try and keep that intact. It'll probably be covered, but, I'm weird that way. Okay. Big clunk here. There it is. Get your hand out of the way. This thing will kill you. 2, 3. This one. This one. We're cutting 2 at a time because I'm lazy. Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, put shit away. You know what? When you line it up, if you put the die with the blade side down, I understand that actually helps you cut the piece better. Yeah, I love the all-in-one. I do. I love that damn thing. Otherwise, I wouldn't have reviewed it and I wouldn't have recommended it to people. But it is bigger. Like, I could cut stuff off camera, but when I'm doing videos, like, I want there to be, I want it to be on camera because I want people to actually see. Boy, I got a comment yesterday from a lady who was doing one of my projects, and it was the quarantine quickies, like back in 2020. And she was like, the written directions do not match what you say very quickly in the video. I had to watch it like 3 or 4 times. Now, I've had a lot. And I've had and that was the second comment in the same day like that too. But I've had a lot of people do that project and nobody's ever said the directions were wrong. I went back and checked it and they're not. So if you're one of the 2 people that found the directions to be inaccurate, I apologize. I will, if necessary, remake the video so that it will work for you. Or you could just ask me for the directions and I will give them to you in a written format. Because I have them on my drive, I'm certain. Because I keep them, all the directions on my drive. Ooh. Okay. I think this goes this way. So we're going to cut it this way. Because this is up and down on this. When I first started using this die cutting machine and it did that, I thought I cracked my plates. I used to think I cracked it all the time. Be like, no, did I crack the plate? No, you didn't crack the plate, stupid. Okay. All right. So now we should have 9 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, well, we have 10. We're still going to cut one out. All right. So we'll take this. We're going to put it on here. And I'm going to put a piece of tape on it. And we'll put it with the rest. Oh my God. I was at the grocery store yesterday. Horrible. Horrible. Some people are horrible. Okay, let me grab one of these real quick. Let me show you. So this is the mat and this is the page. And this is the way it gives you that nice around. So and where is that thing? It's around here someplace. Oh, here it is. Okay. So once you put this whole thing together, this is the size of it, and it is like 1 5/8. So let's see. Let me get this out of the way real quick. 1 5/8, I think. Yes. By 3 7/8. I'm going to write that on here. Where the hell's my pencil? Yeah, I was at the grocery store yesterday, and I got to tell you, I don't know what the deal is. Is it like just because it's Christmas? Or like, have people just lost their minds? I don't know if any of these are going to be wide enough. No, that's not going to be wide enough. And of course, I think I did these pretty much all in the center. I did. Okay. Yeah. Let me grab another piece of paper out of that pad. Where did I put it? Here it is. Okay. Hideous. Oh my God. That's not so bad. Okay. So we have 1 5/8. So we're going to do this at 1 3/8 by 3 5/8. And that should be there. Okay. Could do it even. Let's see. One end. Mm-hmm. 3 3/4. I just want to see what this is going to look like. Okay. 1 1/2 by 3 3/4. I like this one better because I think it better matches the width on the pages. Okay. I'm going to put this away, back in the pad. Then I'm going to put a rubber band on the pad, 2 rubber bands on the pad, so I don't lose the pieces, because I may need a piece of this later. I probably will. So, okay, so this kit also comes with, in addition to the main pages, it comes with pockets and banner pieces and little tags and stuff. I don't know that we're going to use the pocket per se, but we might use these slots. So, because we're using cardstock and not paper, I can do that. All right, so I have this. And I'm going to put it in an envelope. Let's get this put away. And that put away. I got a lot of stuff to put away. I make a mess. Yeah, I wanted to punch this woman so bad. It's, you know, it's one of those, it's that time of year where these are good boxes. Nope, don't save them. It's that time of year, you know, where everybody is rushed. Everybody is feeling the stress and the strain. And I go to this Winco all the time that's by my house. Sherry shops there too. And the people that work there are just really sweet. Really, really sweet. And there was a lady in there, and based on her accent, what she was buying, and the way she was talking, you would not expect her to be a racist. And she came up to the front where the self-check is. Now, first off, she had more than the 15 items. And here's the thing. The Winco, they have a limit on their machine. I know, because I've tried to ring up 16 items. When you hit 15 items, the machine won't take anymore unless they come over and authorize it to do so. So if you go up there and you try to ring up a lot of items, it's not going to work. You have to get somebody to come over, and they have to put in the key, and they have to fix it and remove the limit for your sale. And well, apparently yesterday there was an issue, and like an outlet went out and it knocked out 4 of the registers. So they had gotten the outlet fixed, and they were trying to get the registers back online, because of course everybody and their mother is in there trying to buy stuff, because I think Sunday's the beginning of Hanukkah. I think it's this Sunday. And so everybody's in there trying to, get stuff for Hanukkah, and trying to get stuff for Christmas and things like that. Certainly, things for like Christmas food crafting, if you're one of those people that makes cookies or something before the holidays. So everybody's in there. It's just redonkulously overpacked. There's a lot of people. And she walks up past everybody who's waiting in line and walks over to the registers that are down. And the lady who runs it, her name is Michelle. They put her there when it's a high volume. And she walked over and she said, "Ma'am, I need you to wait in line. These registers are down." Well, turn it on. I'm not waiting in line. She was just very short. And the woman, Michelle, tried to explain that, they had an outage and they were trying to get them back online. And it takes, about 15, 20 minutes per register to get them back online. And, because they got to warm up, and then the machine does an internal count, and there's all stuff that it does, and so she asked the lady to stand back to get back in line, just to back up, be back in the line. And she was just having none of it. Well, you can just turn the registers. Ma'am, it's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes for those registers to boot. I apologize, because you just back up. Then, and while she was dealing with this, because there's self-checkout and self-checkout in one big corral, and then there's more self-checkouts over here. And these are card only, and this is card or cash. And you always get people who come in and they kind of skirt the back of the line, and they have a basket full of stuff, and they come over and they try to ring it up in the self-checkout. Which is why they have somebody working there. It's to make sure that people with baskets full of stuff, or, 25, 30 items, don't try to get in that lane, because it's not going to let them ring their stuff up. And there are people that will go over there and they'll ring up 10 items at a time and pay for it, and 10 items and pay for it, and 10 items and pay for it. And before you know it, they've done a mounding grocery cart full of groceries. And, so they try to catch them before they do that, because it slows everybody else down. Well, she's trying to get her. She hasn't touched her. She hasn't touched her basket, hasn't done anything. She just very pleasantly, "Ma'am, please step back. Please step back and wait in line. We'll get you to a register as soon as one opens." Well, this woman refused to back up. So Michelle takes her basket and kind of pushes her back so that she's not in the middle of all of this that's going on, because there's 4 people trying to check out, including me. And the guy in the register next to me, he finished up and he left. Well, This woman had her basket firmly planted in the hip of this guy who was on the end trying to bring his stuff up. And she kept doing this with the basket, yelling at the girl, Michelle, don't touch me. And she was just going, I want your manager. So Michelle goes, absolutely, ma'am. I will be more than happy to get my manager for you. Just one second. She walked away. She went, she got the manager, and the manager comes back, and out of this woman's mouth came, you can't be the manager, you're black. Oh my God. He did not lose it on her. He did not. I was so impressed. And he is the nicest guy. I got to tell you, he's the nicest guy. I went in there one night when he was working a night shift, and I had a DoorDash order, and he walked through the whole store with me to get it because he knew that some of those items were out of stock on the shelf, but they were on the pallets. So he walked through the store with me to open the pallets to get the stuff that I needed for he's just really a nice guy. And I think everybody that was standing there was like, instantaneously, there was no more beep, beep, beep. People weren't talking anymore. Even the kid that was crying in the line shut up. I mean, it was instantaneous quiet. And in my head, I heard my daughter's voice. Paperwork, mother. Paperwork. Okay, so you're not going to take this woman out. You're going to maintain. Well, this guy has left. So technically, this woman can get in the register. So she has already called the manager for no reason at all, because she could have just walked over and got into the register, checked her stuff out, and left. But no, she wanted to fuss with Michelle. Okay. So the manager's like, ma'am, what can I do for you? And she comes off with that. And he was like, well, I'm sorry, but yes, I am the manager. I am the store manager. What can I help you with? And she just starts going off about how, Michelle was pushing her. And the guy who she's whacking with her basket is just laughing his ass off.
Wait.
Because he knows. I saw what happened. Everybody in that area saw what happened. It was the woman. She was just being disruptive. So he says, ma'am, I apologize for anything, any inconvenience that you may have, but is there anything that I can actually help you with? Well, in the meantime, there were two young boys standing in the line waiting their turn, and they saw that this register was open and had been for a couple of, like 2-3 minutes. So they come over to ring up, and Michelle immediately stops them and goes, no, that lady's first. I need you to go back in line. So they were like, oh, yeah, sure. Okay. So they go back and they get in line, and they had rung up a thing. So Michelle voids it. Rather than void the sale, she just cancels that one item. Because if you void the entire sale, then like the key carrier has to come over, and there's a whole process, and it takes time. And oh my God. So then she goes to the register and she sees that there's this salt or something rung up. And she's like, they're trying to steal from me. And I'm like, oh my God. I leaned over, I said, lady, ma'am, that item has been canceled. You can see it's gray, it's not black, and it has been crossed out. It's easier to clear an item than to void a transaction. And since somebody had accidentally started a transaction here, they have simply voided that item. Now they're trying to steal from me. Oh my God. So I'm done ringing up my stuff, but I realized I forgot my Fresca. So I turn around and I go, hey, Michelle. And she goes, yeah, babe. I said, I forgot to get something. Can I leave my basket and go? She goes, yeah, go ahead, honey. So I tie up my bags. I put my basket to the side right there in the checkout corral so she can keep an eye on it. I run in, I grab 3 bottles of Fresca. I come back. There is nobody in the line. So I walk up to the same register I had been at, and I go to ring it up. This other woman, who I found out later was her daughter. Long story on that one. I saw them getting in the car together. So they're either friends or that's her daughter. She goes, hey, I was first. Michelle goes, not a problem. I'm ringing her up at the front register. So she takes my soda. She rings me up at the front. She says, you have a good day. And I turned around and I said, you know what? You do a fantastic job, yada, yada, yada. We had a little bit of a conversation. And very loudly, looking at the old lady, I said, no matter how, and I made some comments. And I went and got in the car because I was running really thin. Because as I'm ringing up my stuff, she's berating the manager because she's trying to use her card and it's been declined 3 times. Why? Because Winco does not accept credit cards, debit, checks, and cash only. It's how they keep their prices down because they don't have to pass along the cost of credit card use to the customers. And she was trying to pay with an American Express card, which I'm pretty sure nobody even uses anymore. People, it is Christmas. Now, regardless of your faith, regardless of my faith, this is supposed to be that time of year where there's peace on earth and goodwill towards man and woman. And I don't think that goodwill or peace or politeness or humanism has a color. It doesn't have a station. It doesn't have a position in life. Freaking be nice to each other. That's all, Just be nice. Maybe she was constipated. I don't know. Maybe she did have to take a dump. I'm not sure. Maybe her meds were off. I don't know. But you don't have to be uber yacht. You know what I mean? I don't want to go out anymore. I went to the post office yesterday and I got in line and there's this woman at the front and she's like, plum, 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 plum. And I'm like, okay. Finally, she turns around, she goes, I don't know how to make this work. And she was an older lady. I said, that's okay, ma'am. I can help you. And there were like 3 or 4 people in front of me in line. And the guy that was standing behind me, he went, don't worry about it. I'll hold your place. Go ahead and help her. Because he wants to get her out of there. So I go up and I help this lady ring up her stuff at the self-serve kiosk because there was like 50 people deep in the line. And she goes, oh, thank you. I said, no, not a problem. Next lady comes up as I'm trying to walk away. She's like, I don't know how to use this thing either. Oh, okay. So now I'm playing postal worker for people. This lady puts her package up there and it's like skewed on the thing. I was like, no, ma'am, it has to be in the corner directly so that the machine can measure it and weigh it properly. Oh. Then this one woman came in. I was laughing because she came in when I was putting stamps on my stuff and she was having and people were fussing. And I looked, this woman had one of those big, wagons, the cloth ones, filled with boxes. Not big boxes. These boxes were like 6 by 4 by like 2. And it was jam-packed. And she must have had 10 people behind her, and she was going to scan and each one separately, doing a full transaction for each one, instead of scanning them and putting it to the side and scanning it and putting it to the side. No. She scanned it, ordered her postage for it, hit paid, put in her card, waited for it to process, took the card out, put the stamp on it, put it in a bin. Bye, Miss Mari. I was like, oh, I'm so glad I got here when I did, because if I was behind her, I would be like going off. I'd be going off. Why is she ringing up every single transaction one at a time? If you're afraid that you're not going to be able to keep stamps straight or something like that, get in line and stand in the regular postal line, which was actually shorter. It was actually shorter than the self-serve kiosk. Does she think she's getting a deal at the self-serve kiosk? No, it's actually more expensive. Of course, they don't ask you questions. You know, you could just whoop, whoop, whoop. But like, I've got a package that I'm sending to Michelle, and it didn't cost me any more to send it. Well, it did. It's like 40 cents more because they have to hand carry it. Because it's inks, it's hazmat. It's a hazmat package. So, but that postage would have cost me like $2 more if I had gone to the self-serve kiosk, because the self-serve kiosk can't differentiate between aerosols, combustibles, lithium batteries, and ink. Ink is a low-grade hazmat, so it's a lower cost because you don't have to have the same package regulations as you do for aerosols and lithium batteries. So, yeah. All right, so tonight we're doing this. We're doing this little book, but I'm also going to show you how to do this without the dies. Okay? So we're going to cut this. It's just going to be square, but it's going to be the same type of binding system and, all of that hoo-ha-ha to do this. And so, the pages go like this. It's a double page deal. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And we're going to be doing it this size from the die. And then I think it's this one. Could be this one. This one. We're going to be doing this one, which is 4.5. I think we're going to do it 5 though, by 2.25. So we're going to be doing this size, and but it's going to be taller, and we're going to be doing this one out of just regular paper, just regular pieces. I'm just going to cut the pieces manually. They're going to be square. We're going to round some corners. You guys get the idea. So, that being said, what do we got? All right. So, yes, the Project 25 challenge for the month of December, this is the last one, guys, is wrapping paper. Whatever kind of wrapping paper you want, you can make it. It could be, the plain brown wrapping paper, if that's what you have. I just packaged something up with that yesterday. Wrapping paper and or snow. Now, this can be, spray on flocking or that stuff you get for the windows. It could be texture paste. It could be tinsel paper, whatever. If you determine that to be snow, that's fine. If you want to use watercolors, snow is water. You know what I mean? This week's video was a Monday Mixed Media mini morsel. So, head past your bedtime. So we're going to be doing that. We are going to be making this, I think, tonight or tomorrow. I don't know. And then we have a craft with me where we're going to do something. Oh, tonight, wait a minute. I know what we're doing. Tonight we are making tags out of packaging, recycled packaging. And then tomorrow we're going to be doing this book. Okay, I might flip-flop that. And then Saturday, of course, is Mixed Media. Sunday is our game, which is also the first day of Hanukkah. At sunset, Hanukkah begins. And I've got 3 videos next week coming out, including that Ghirardelli square box for the last of our Christmas of 25 boxes. And I am mailing out the last of everything. Also, I have this one, which is also from Alina Cuddle. And so I'm going to see if there's a video on this one because I have no idea what this is supposed to make, but we're going to find out. That's it, guys. That's all I have for you. So if you're new here and you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe. It doesn't hurt. It really doesn't. And to be honest, you'll forget in just a couple of days, and I'll have a subscriber for a while. What else? If you would like a list of what's going on as far as like when I go live, when I have free classes and things like that coming up, what what's on the schedule as far as tutorials. You can get that here on the YouTube channel or over in the Facebook group. There are links to the Facebook group in the description below. It's a great way to cyber stalk me. If you want, just go down and click on the more button. You can get my Instagram, my email, my Facebook, my Ko-Fi, my Patreon. It's all down there. My entire social life is down there. So you can go down there and do that and become a cyber stalker. All right, that's it. That's all I have for you until the next time. Stay well, my friends. If you are in the Washington State area, get to higher ground and stay there. Go visit relatives, okay? And remember, even in the cold, you can dehydrate. So please, lots of fluids. Bye-bye now.